Alright, so in this video we're going to be learning about multiplying decimals. It's not too different than what you've learned before on multiplying your 2-digit and 3-digit numbers. There's just the decimal to deal with, but that's not till the very end. So let's just get right into it. So let's just start with a number like 6.3 times 2.1. Keep it simple. Okay, so if we're given this, now let's pretend it didn't have decimals and we had 63 times 21. You would just set it up, put them on top of each other. Here's 63 and 21. But we're going to make sure we have those decimals are in there. But we don't actually have to worry about them till the end. So we're going to just multiply it like we would normal and like we've learned earlier, probably in elementary. So you've got 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 6, 6. Now it's good 10, so bring down that 0. So 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 6 is 12. We add them up. So you've got 3. That's 12. Carry the 1. So that's 3 and 1. So if we did 63 times 21, you'd get 1,323. But again, it's not that. It's got the decimals. Now here's what the trick is, and the only difference really, is you look and you find how many place values are to the right of the decimal before you started. So if we look, we have this 3 and this 1. So that gives us 2 place values. So that means whatever's before we multiplied, the same place values need to be after that. So we're going to go and count 1, 2, and put our decimals after that to give us 2 place values. So if we did 6.3 times 2.1, it's going to give us 13.23. So remember, the key thing is here, the same number of place values after the decimal when the two numbers you're multiplying need to be in your answer. So we have 1, 2 there. We have 1, 2 here. All right, so let's try another one. Let's say we have 12.5 times 6.2. All right, so again, multiply it like we would normally. Nothing different when we worry about the decimals at the end. So 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 and 2 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. 2 and 1 is 2. So we have the 0. 6 and 5 is 30. 6 and 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Carry the 1. It's going to be 6 plus 1 is 7. All right, and then we add them up. That is 0, 5, 7, and a 7. Now again, it's like we multiplied it before, just like regular. But now this is, we have decimals. So we have this 5, which is 1 place value. You have a 2, which is 2 place values. So the 0 does count as a place value. Don't make that mistake. So you've got 1, you've got 2 place values to give you an answer of 77.5. All right, now let's try one with 2 decimal places after. So 1.25 times 3.7. Now if you'll notice here, unlike adding and subtracting, the decimals don't necessarily need to be lined up because we really don't have anything to do with the place values. Everything gets multiplied by all the other ones, and we worry about the decimals at the end. So don't worry about that. If you do line them up, and if you add the 0 to make them both there, it's fine. It won't change the answer. It's just going to add another decimal place, and there'll be another decimal place at the end in the answer, but the answer will come out the same. It's just a little more work, so I wouldn't suggest doing it. But, so we start here. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 and 2 is 14, plus the 3, 17. So 7, that's 8. All right, we've got the 0. So 3 times 5 is 15. The 1, 3 times 2 is 6, 7, and 3 and 1 is 3. All right, so we add those up. 5 is 0, 5 and 7 is 12. Well, that's going to give you 15 plus the 1 is 16. Carry the 1. All right, now remember, count your decimal places. You have 1, 2, 3 before we multiplied, so there needs to be 1, 2, 3 after we do it. So that gives me 4.625. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple to work on your own, and then I'd like you to pause the video, work on that, and then hit play again and I'll go over them. So let's try 3 of them. We'll have 6.4 times 1.2, 3.05, and 7.9. Number 2, and number 3, 4.1 and 3.22. Okay, so you can pause the video, work on these on your own, and then hit play again to watch me go over them. Okay, so hopefully you did these on your own. We're going to check them now. So again, decimal places, the lineup doesn't matter in multiplication, only in addition and subtraction. So we're just going to multiply it. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. Add the 0 for the next line. That's just going to be 4 and 6. All right, we add them. So that gives me 8. That gives me 6 and 7. Remember, there's 1, 2 place numbers after the decimal, so there needs to be 1, 2 places after the decimal. Okay, same thing here. So again, 9 and 5 is 45. Well, that's 0, so 4. 9 and 3 is 27. So add the 0. 7 and 5, 35. Well, that's 0. And 7 and 3 is 21. All right, so we add these up. That's 5, 9, 10, carry the 1. It's going to be 4 and 2. And then we look, 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal place. So 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal place. Okay? Now, this is a good problem to show you that how to check it to see if you're, it's not going to give you the, make sure you're the correct answer, but it'll give you a good estimate. If we look at this one, 3.05, that number is very, very, very close to the number 3. If we look at this one, 7.9, if you round that, it's very close to the number 8. Well, if you do 3 times 8, you get 24, which so happens to be very, very close to the number you just got. So chances are, if you do that as a quick kind of math here, you'll get a good idea if you're in the right realm of things. Same thing on this one. You have 1.2, it's close to the number 1. 6.4 is close to the number 6. It will round down. Well, if you do 1 times 6, you get 6. Now, we know these are a little bigger, but 7.6 is in the realm of it, so that's pretty good. So let's try this last one here. And again, this is what I said. If you add the 0 here, it's not going to change anything. It's going to put a little work in there, but it won't actually change the number. And I'll do it just to show you. So if I add that 0 there, because you need it to have, you know, make sure it's got the same decimal place and lined up. Again, it's not a big deal, but if it is, it won't make a difference. So 2 and 0, well, that's 0. 2 and 1 is 2. 2 and 4 is 8. So we can add the 0. Again, 2 and 0. 2 and 1 is 2. 2 and 4 is 8. And now we add 2 zeros. So you get 3, that's 0. That's good 3, and that's going to be 12. So if you'll notice, if I didn't add the 0 here, this line of zeros would not be here. But you'll see in the answer, it doesn't make a difference. So if you do add it, don't worry, you're not going to be going the wrong path. So Those are all zeros. That's going to be 2. Well, 2 and 8 is 10. Carry that over. That is going to be 12. Carry the 1. So 3, 13. Now again, remember, if you added that 0, you need to make sure you count it as a place value. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. So you're given 13.2020. Again, if you didn't have this 0 here, this 0 wouldn't be here. Again, having zeros at the end doesn't make a difference. And again, another check. 4.1, close to 4. 3.2, close to 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Well, 13 is pretty close to 12, so you're probably right there. Okay? Hope you learned something. Thanks.